Hey everybody, this is McIlwain, and today we are doing our second installment of fuel. And just in case you don't understand what fuel represents, I'm going to share it with you. Fuel stands for finance, unity, empowerment, and legacy. And today we are bringing on my colleagues, my best buds, my friends, starting with Mr. Dennis Sawyer, also introducing the wonderful, marvelous Dr. Jackie Moore, and not at any least bringing up the rear, but definitely when it says that the last shall be first, we got to bring in Sonya Williams. And guys, I'm excited to have you here as we are going to talk about fuel. We're going to talk about what it means to fuel the next generation. And we're going to make sure that everyone who is listening to us will understand once we conclude today how important it is to get your financial house in order. Welcome, everybody. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So look, guys, we don't want our public to in any way think that we don't know each other. So this is an opportunity for us to have fun, but at the same time, we want to also deal with the fundamentals of finance. And so today we're going to be talking about fueling the next generation, and we're going to be dealing with some specific topics, dealing with kind of the foundation of finance into retirement, talking about college and talking about debt management. And so saying all this to say that many of us in our communities are really unaware of what it means to understand finance and how much finance is so important to bring about unity of the community, and how that unity of community gives everyone a sense of empowerment, and empowerment along with all the other elements creates a legacy. You guys like how I put all those words in that sentence?
Yes. Definitely.
Excellent. So I want to just start things off by just giving everyone, in whatever order, the opportunity to share what fuel means to them. So in any order, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I guess I'll go first.
Of course you will. Of course you will.
Since the first will be last, or but
Right.
just to go over things again. My name is Dennis Sawyer, and what I believe for fuel, just like your automobile, you can't go anywhere. You can't plan a long trip. You can't plan a short trip without fuel. And the whole idea is that, planning and deciding how far you want to go is very important. So as we move around and I look at different things and different people and what their focuses are on, it all comes down to how we plan on traveling and what we're going to do when we get to our destination. So to me, once again, fuel is the beginning stage. You got to know how much, you got to know when to get it, and you got to pay attention to it while you're using it. So there's my first take on fuel.
Excellent. Wonderful job, Dennis.
Well, thank you, Sonya.
Hey, that question is
not golden.
Am I next?
You can be next. You're free.
Okay. Yes. Well, just to go along with what Dennis is saying is we have to take, we can fuel every aspect of our lives, and in meaning that no matter if we're thinking about relationships or the future, or if we're thinking about our health, our wealth, we can fuel our entire lives. And understanding that in order for us to achieve in this life, you have to have fuel, right? Fuel is like that fuel to keep you running, to keep you moving forward, to keep you whatever it is that you desire. So that's my take on fuel.
Excellent, excellent, Jackie.
Exactly. They have really put all of our thoughts together. When we came together as friends, being the first F, really, but finance being the second, it was paramount for us to think about our community. And that's where unity and empowerment came in, because we feel that information is powerful, knowledge is powerful. And without an open and transparent discussion about your finances, you're not able to unite on a same purpose, and you're not able to feel empowered, but always, on the other hand, feel like someone else is in control. And so we feel that it's so important to know what it is, when it is, where you can do with your finances to empower yourself, empower your F family, empower your F future, and most definitely your next generation. And so we are so glad that you're here, but that is how important we think fuel in general and an empowerment of knowledge is specifically to us and to you all. So
that's excellent. That is so excellent. And I'm going to actually throw in my 2 cents as well, because this is a special opportunity for me, because I didn't even make the audience aware that everyone here in their own way are financial professionals, and you may specialize in specific things, but you know everything as it relates to finance. I'm coming into this new world. I'm going to claim my position in it, but when I'm thinking about fuel, and I'm thinking about what that means, what it represents, the way I'm looking at it is, for so many years, I struggled to, as they say, make ends meet, having more bills than money to, you cover those bills, and, trying to rob Paul to pay Peter, or however that goes. And when I started to understand even just the basic principles of finance, knowing how to, first of all, save a portion of your income, how to start thinking beyond today, thinking about what's going to happen in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 20 years, where's my family going to be? Where am I going to be? And all those things was the beginning of me understanding exactly how to look at money, how to know that money is just a tool, but it's a very important tool that can really stimulate all of the things that you guys have already talked about. And so I feel like I'm in literally high cotton, being able to talk with my friends, but also financial professionals. And during this particular broadcast and everything that we do beyond today, I'm really looking at it as an opportunity that our audience will get a real good chance, maybe for the first time, to really understand money, to understand compound interest, to understand how to prepare for college, how to prepare an emergency fund, how to deal with retirement, all the things that we grow into and realize, oh my gosh, I wish I had thought about these things earlier. Maybe we can be part of the solution, guys, to make sure that our community is ready and equipped to definitely fuel the next generation. How'd y'all like how I put that together? Was that pretty cool?
Woo!
Yes, I've been practicing.
Yeah, on a roll.
Man, I think I might have a future in this thing. But look, not to belabor the time, because we, again, we kid because we love, but we do have some serious things to talk about. And I gave each of you an assignment, and I'm going to do it in the same order, basically, in which we do most things. So I'm going to actually have Dennis, for you to start off dealing with just, when I say foundation, just the basic foundation of what we should be thinking about in terms of finance, and also how important that is as we, many of us are getting ready to deal with retirement issues. So if you can kind of combine that in your own marvelous way, I would be greatly appreciative.
Sure, be my pleasure. Well, actually, the way you way you ended the question is the scariest thing. You said, as we get ready to get into retirement, what should we do? Well, the truth is, when you get your first job, you should start thinking about retirement. And why is that? Because retirement and life is all about time. I call it the time value of money. And here we go, trying to figure out retirement. So the first thing we got to figure out is that number, that date, and that we want to call ourselves retirement. What does retirement actually mean? And what kind of lifestyle do we want to lead while we're in this thing called retirement? I have a friend who is a fireman, and he used to be a police officer, and he used to be a fireman at another jurisdiction. So he was getting 3 retirements. And that was his plan in life to, I think they call it double dipping or triple dipping, or any way you want to look at it. But for us, we have sometimes just one income. And in that income, we have to take care of the bills, the taxes, the food, the eating, the lifestyle choices that we make. And nowhere in the beginning stages do we put that big R word in our calculations. But the truth is, we have to put that there first, because as money is a commodity, it has a time value to it. If you wanted to grow, you want to take advantage of what Mac called compound interest. You must take advantage of time, which means the day you get your first dollar bill, you have to consider putting 10 cents away for yourself. And 10 cents doesn't sound like a lot, and that's the whole purpose, not to make yourself hurt, but to start. And starting is very important if we're trying to build a retirement plan. But you got to work to a number. Is it 10,000? Is it 100,000? Is it 400,000? Is it $1 million? Me personally, I say everyone should shoot for at least $1 million. You don't know what the taxes are going to be in the future. You don't know what your medical expenses are going to be in the future. But through the 4 of us on this line, we work with people to allow them to make decisions based off of, those 4 components, protection, debt management, emergency fund, and investment, aiming towards a goal called retirement. So thank you very much for my time on that.
I like that. I like how you closed that out. Thank you for my time. But no, that's definitely some words of wisdom that I'm praying that our audience will have heard and take heed on, because I think, Dennis, many times we're just not thinking about these things because we always think that tomorrow is going to be here, and that, oh, well, I'll just figure it out tomorrow or the next day. And then all it takes is one tragedy to bring reality into perspective. And then, many of us are caught literally with our pants down because we just didn't think about it. We didn't prepare for anything. And so this is really the impetus of what we're doing here. And yes, we're going to kid and joke a lot, but we're dealing with some serious issues here because we don't want any of our audience to ever feel like they are less than because they didn't have the proper access to information concerning finance. And we're going to make this finance and this fueling the next generation, we're going to be relevant with it, but also keep it fun, keep it as simple as possible so that even the babies can understand what's going on. With that said, I want to bring on my friend. Now, this woman here, so incredible because for one thing, she neutralizes my relationship with the aforementioned Dennis Sawyer. She's the one who brings the calm in the midst of the storm. So whenever things get real crazy, guys, I can rely on the doctor, in this case, Dr. Jackie, to have the elixir, to have the medicine, to have the solution to all of our cares and all of our woes. But today, we have given her an assignment. Dr. Jackie, did you know you had an assignment?
Yes, I wasn't prepared for that intro, but
we want to be ready for everything when we're talking about fuel.
Everything.
Yes. But we want to deal for a moment with debt management. Definitely an area that I am still discovering and learning, but I want you in your own way to share with our audience what that's all about and what we can do.
Well, thank you. So, Mac, when you were doing your intro, you spoke a lot about that impact of debt in your life. Talked about more bills than money, always looking for the money to pay. But what came to my mind was a song, and I am not a singer, but I'm going to give you the lyrics. Hey, big spender, spend a little time on. I want you to think about spending a little time on yourself and not on other things. So here's what happens. In our culture, we are often the big spenders. We consume so much more than many other cultures. We consume so much more than many others who save. And it is a mindset that we need to look at our spending. Our history is laden with weights on us of things to carry. So when we work and we work hard, we also feel that we deserve and should spend on ourselves. We work hard, we play hard, and then we spend hard. But what that doesn't allow us to do is what my predecessor Dennis was talking about, is take something for that future, to get ready, to prepare. So I'm to talk about debt and the idea of we don't need to keep up with the Joneses. We need to keep up with ourselves. And we need to do that, but taking some money to save. The creditors, I realize we're in COVID and they say that they're being considerate, but they will come to you for their bills. They are looking to be paid. And I've been walking in my community, and one of the things that has struck me the most is the number of boxes that are outside during trash time of big TVs, Amazon packages, because we're home getting paid, we're getting stimulus checks, and we are still doing what we know well. So this is an opportunity, as we talk more and more about debt, to change your mindset. But how do you get rid of what you already have? You have to reduce your spending. and you have to commit to paying off in a slow process. And so there are strategies that as we go through our time together, that I will actually give you very specific strategies of what to do. But what I want you to start doing is thinking of yourself as the bill you have to pay, and that you have to commit to paying your bill as you take all these other bills off of your shoulders.
Wonderful, wonderful. You know, Dr. Jackie, you are the milk and cookies that we should have at the end of the evening to kind of just wind down, because you just share it in such a way that, man, I just feel all the warm and fuzzies, just knowing that, you know what, and I'm kind of having a little fun with you, but at the same time, there's a comfort in knowing that there's hope. And I think that's what this whole broadcast is about, that we can literally take the steps today, and there is hope no matter what the situation is. And that's really what we want to give, guys, because we're dealing with a world right now that is, as you talked about, going through COVID, going through the current environment as far as the elections, going through racial tensions, all in the atmosphere. And what doesn't get talked about a lot is the fact that there's rampant unemployment. Look, we haven't even talked about the fact that in many states there's a shortage of coins. And so everybody's life has been turned upside down. So when we are able to get a grasp and understand debt, understand how to approach debt, how to eliminate debt, then all the things that we're talking about when it refers to fuel, that will fuel us to give us the unity that we need to empower us and create a legacy for all the generations to come. I thank you so much for sharing. I do tease a lot, but I also want to be very sincere in letting you know how much I really appreciate your introspect and your insight for our audience, so that they can look at the situation and know that there is hope. And if we ended this program right now, I think we would have already accomplished our goal. But when we talk about having that secret weapon, having that one person who changes the whole atmosphere, who brings a gravitas to everything that we're about, that, my gosh, can I say it? Literally, having like superstar status. My goodness. I bring up our next and our last personality, I want to let you guys know that she comes to us being in the profession of teaching, and she uses teaching as kind of the launching pad for what she shares now dealing with finance. She's an exciting person. She is literally growing by the minute, as she has a program that's getting ready to launch on Fox 45, right, Sonya?
Fox 5 GTV.
Okay, sorry, get me right, straighten me out. But yes, so we've been really excited because we are part of her initial launching of that program. But for today, I've given her an assignment, and that is to talk about college, preparing for college, any aspect of college. So Sonya, in your own way, share with our audience about college and whatever it is you want to share with us.
Well, as you know, thank you, Mac, for that introduction. As you know, our title of our show is Fuel, right? And we're talking about fueling the next generation. So our college students or our children are the next generation, and we have to help them, number one, plan and prepare for college, right? I like to reference the 5 Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. And what is it when it comes to that poor performance when it comes to our college students? Well, a lot of our children or our students are going to college, graduating from college with a lot of debt, student loan debt. Actually, the statistics say that college students are the student loans far surpass credit card and automobile debt. That's a major concern, considering, again, this is our future. Our children are our future. Our children are our next generation. So are we setting them up to fail if they're graduating with a lot of debt, right? So how can we offset that? How can we help them to become proactive? It's all about the college planning and preparation. And as you know, as financial professionals, Dr. Jackie, Dennis, and myself, we help our students plan and prepare for college. There are programs out there that are allow our children to go to school or to prepare for college for little to no debt. And again, it's all about lack of knowledge. How do we don't know what we don't know. So how do we know what's available to us? So we have to begin the research. And there's a lot of programs that are out there that'll help us get our children into college, fully funded. As you know, there's a lot of, scholarships and grants. We can help, with our students when it comes to not just our students, but the family as a whole. This is a collective effort. Again, the unity, right? When it comes to fuel, unity, coming together and say, hey, let's get the professors involved. Let's get the parents involved. Let's get the students involved and help them secure their finances, savings. As we know, you got to be proactive. And again, I do have my own children. I have one daughter who, in my mind, number one, well, before I talk about being in my mind, number one, prior to becoming a financial professional, I was doing what so many of us here in the United States are doing. I was living frivolously, being a heavy consumer, not thinking about financing my daughter's college education. Not that I didn't think about that she was going to go to college, but I just wasn't thinking about financing it, unfortunately. So it was once I became that financial professional and got exposed and introduced to the information, then my next goal, my immediate goal became, how can I help my daughter go to school without any loans, right?
Right.
I didn't want her to have any loans, and I certainly didn't want her to graduate with any debt. And I'm thankful to say that she's on her second semester because of the knowledge that I have and the knowledge that I was able to apply. So far, she's debt-free. I'm so proud of that. She's debt-free in her college. And I'll just bring up one more thing when it comes to that is every child doesn't have to go to college beginning in a 4-year college, right? Sometimes, if it's more affordable for a family, send your student to a 2-year community college first, and then have them transfer their credits over and transfer into a 4-year college. That will save drastically on how much college is going to cost at the end of the day. And one other thing I want to add is that, do our students really need college? Let's just think about it. They said the wealth is built with entrepreneurship. It's just something that we don't talk about often enough. And so I'm glad that, again, all of us here on the panel as financial professionals, including you, Mac, I don't know, we can help our families be proactive and help our students to do what it is, fulfill their dreams and goals, and have a secure financial future.
You know, Sonya, you don't know how incredible, especially the last portion of what you said, you don't know how incredible that is, because I literally had a young man in my home yesterday, and we were talking about these very issues, these issues of education and going the traditional route, the things that we've been conditioned to think and to perform. And, you know, one of the things I was sharing with him is like, you know, yeah, I've been in college, and college didn't teach me anything about understanding how to determine what kind of deal I'm getting at the grocery store. You know, is it better if I'm getting, you know, buy one, get the other one free? Is that really the deal? Or if I get a larger size, would I actually be saving money? It's things like that, like the little common things that we don't get in our universities, but these are the things that, you know, for instance, most people are not going to be doing advanced calculus in their lifetimes. So how can the average individual, and I only use average, saying that people that aren't specialists in something that's related to mathematics or engineering. So how does the average consumer, how do we navigate to make sure that we're preparing for college, if the college is the route we choose to take, or maybe it's a trade school, or maybe it's like you said, maybe it's developing a business. But how do we begin that process? What do we do in the area of planning? All of the things that you guys have talked about are relevant. We have to understand debt management in order to be able to work this process. We need to make sure that in the process of understanding debt management, that we're really trying to look towards the future to know that our retirement is secure, knowing that the generations that follow us is secure, but also in the here and now, we need to make sure that on a day-to-day basis, people are able to navigate if they're laid off, or if they are, you know, actually terminated from jobs. Do you have something else that you can fall back on? Do you have an emergency fund, you know, that's at least, what, a 3 to 6 month that can carry you until, you know, better prospects on the horizon. So I want to celebrate all of you guys today as we get ready to wrap this thing up. You guys did it in perfect time. We've shared a lot of information in a very short period. And I think it's enough for our audience to understand the tone of what we are trying to do here. We're going to have our fun. I'm going to tease Dennis because I just do that. I'm going to make sure that Dr. Jackie is always elevated to a high level. And I'm going to just shower all kinds of crazy things and comments upon my buddy Sonya, because that's how we roll here. But at the same time, we really want to make sure that people are getting the information that they need so that they can fuel the next generation. With that said, I want to just leave it open just for a moment if any of you all have any closing comments.
Well, I just had one major. Your health is the greatest threat to your wealth. And in every consideration, you got to consider that day when aspirins no longer cost 50 cents each. They become $900 each, or whatever. You know, as we get older and we transition to those retirement years, we got to realize that things are going to cost a lot more. And that's part of what preparation is. This is really not to put fear in you or anything, but just a little early planning can really change your future. So that's my little quick blurb.
All right. Anyone else before we close out?
When looking at something, don't always think about want. What you need is for your future to be secure financially. And so look at how this is going to impact you in the long range. And as we talk more about debt, you'll see even more how important that will be.
Fantastic.
I just want to remind everybody that think about the 5 Ps. I love the 5 Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Don't wait and put off tomorrow what you can do today. Start early, start today. We are here to help you. Thank you.
All right. With that said, Dr. Jackie, Dennis, Sonya, I thank you so much for hanging out with us, or with me. And, I'm looking forward to how we're going to present other topics going forth in the future. So for today, guys, to our audience, we just want to let you know that we are definitely looking out for your best interest, making sure that you are equipped in every aspect to be able to navigate the waters, whether the waters are smooth, whether the waters are really wavy, or if they are just torrential. You're going to be all right, because we are going to fuel the next generation. Have a great day, guys.
Have a great day.
Great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.